I'm going to start a new chapter in English for class 10. It's from the book Footprints Without Feet, and the title of the chapter is A Triumph of Surgery. Triumph means victory. Surgery, what type of surgery? This we will understand in the chapter. It's written by James Herriot. James Herriot was a writer as well as a veterinary doctor. So let's first discuss some of its characters. The main character is Mr. James Herriot. He is even the writer of this chapter. Okay, so he narrates his own story. So Mr. James Herriot is a veterinary surgeon. He is a capable doctor and a wise individual. Means he was a very wise person, and animal lover and a caring guardian. Means those who came to him, he used to guard them very well. He used to treat them very well. The next character is Mrs. Pemberley. So Mrs. Pemberley was a very wealthy single woman. Wealthy means very rich. She was a very rich single woman, very much attached to her dog. Now she had a dog. The name of that dog was Tricky, and she was very much attached to that dog. She was very loving but weak at heart. Though she used to love her dog very much, but she was very weak at her heart. Now the next character, Tricky. Tricky is the main character actually. A lazy and a fat dog. The dog was very lazy as well as it was fat. Loves food. It's liked food very much. Used to eat every time. Very fond of his owner. His owner means Mrs. Pemberley. This dog Tricky was very fond of his owner, that is Mrs. Pemberley. Turns out to be very energetic and lively. Later on, after being taken to the surgery, this dog Tricky turns out to be very energetic and lively after recovery from his illness. Now we'll start the chapter. So let us begin it point wise. The first point is Mr. Herriot, actually double R, worried about Tricky the dog. So this is the very first point. We will start the chapter point wise. So the story starts when Mrs. Pemberley, a rich lady, takes her dog Tricky outside for a walk. A nearby surgeon, a veterinary surgeon, he saw the dog and he was shocked and worried as the dog looked like a bloated sausage. The dog was very lethargic, means very lazy, and his eyes were red and rheumy. Rheumy means watery. There was water present in the dog's eyes, and Mr. Herriot believed that Mrs. Pemberley, the mistress of the dog, okay, she has given a lot of diet to him, means malt and cod liver oil and a bowl of Horlicks every night. But this has not worked at all. Okay, the dog has become very lazy, fat, okay, and there were tears in his. James Herriot advises Mrs. Pemberley. Miss James Herriot advises Mrs. Pemberley. Now, Mr. James Herriot realizes that Tricky's only fault was that the dog was greedy about food or greedy for food. Whatever was offered to that dog, he used to go and eat it. Whatever type of meal was offered, he used to go and eat. So the doctor advises Mrs. Pemberley that she must cut down his diet right down. So she must give the dog some exercise. She must keep him on a very strict diet, otherwise he will fall ill. So this is where the second point ends. Means if the diet is not controlled, the dog is definitely to fall ill. This is where the second point ends. The third point starts with Tricky falls ill. Falls ill. Now, within a few days, Dr. Harriot receives a call from Mrs. Penfrey. She tells him that Tricky doesn't eat anything and he has bouts of vomiting. Means starts vomiting every now and then. He only lies down on the rug and start painting. Mr. Harriot expected the same to happen. He was sure that this will definitely happen. He knew that Tricky was suffering because he has eaten a lot of things. Okay, because he was overeating. This is the reason that Tricky has fallen ill. Now the next point is Dr. Harriot plan and Mrs. Penfrey's sufferings. Dr. Harriot's plan and Mrs. Penfrey's sufferings. So Dr. Harriot has already made his plan. He was very firm on his line. He has decided and advised Mrs. Penfrey that the dog should be taken to the hospital for a fortnight. So just after hearing this advice, Mrs. Penfrey soon started swooning down. And she thought that the dog could not even live for a single day without seeing his mistress. How could that dog live without her there in that hospital? So this is where this next point is Tricky taken to hospital. Taken to hospital. So after the doctor receives a call and he reaches Mrs. Penfrey's house and sees all the condition, he decides that it's better that the dog should be taken to hospital. So Mr. Harriot wrapped Tricky in a blanket, took him out of the house and put him in his car. The departure of this dog, Tricky, was very pathetic. All the house were aroused. The maids were putting Tricky's things in the car. Everyone was in tears. Finally, the doctor, Mr. Harriot, took the dog away in his car and went to his surgery. Okay, so this is where this point ends. The next part of this video or this chapter will continue in the next video. Okay.